Hi, this is Bev Adamo with Wild and Wise Women and Wild and Wise Sisterhood. And we're here this morning to talk to a very amazing young woman who also happens to be an incredible person, an incredible coach and businesswoman, entrepreneur. And I'm happy, Ashmeeta, are you there?
I am there. I can see you.
Oh, fantastic. Hi, thanks for joining us this morning. Oh, wow. Ashmeeta, I'm so excited about this. This is going to be awesome. Are you ready?
I am.
Okay, well, let's start out. First of all, who are you in terms of Wild and Wise Women? Just tell us a little bit about that.
I'm the one who's behind the scenes, and I do all the graphics and the community speak more and more of their truth. I try and build content that resonates with wise women out there, so that they can be inspired and empowered every time they see our page. So that's what I do with my content and with my page. I try to inspire and empower women, wild and wise women. Yes.
Well, you do an awesome job. Like as for me as CEO and having you being one of our partners, it's so exciting because what I see is magic. What I see are the miracles. What I see are the great graphics and the questions, the curiosities that you have, and all of that. And I would love to know a little bit about your personal background. Where are you right now, and where did you grow up, and a little bit about that, because you're an amazing young woman, and everyone out there, as you hear Ashmeeta speak more and more, you'll understand why I say that. So tell us a little bit about who you are, where you came from.
Okay, yeah. So right now I'm a spiritual marketing coach. I help spiritual entrepreneurs, metaphysical masters, and other coaches to build personal, authentic, and soulful brand online. Um, that's what I do. And I'm from India, and my journey wasn't always like this. I'm 23. I never thought that I could become a coach because I always thought I'm too young for it. Um, yes, but then I went around and I always, when I came across coaching, I knew this was it. This is who I wanted to be. And so I asked a lot of people and I asked them, am I too young to become a coach? And they all said, no, you know what you know. And if you use it to teach other people what they don't know, that'll be great. Of years of experience to coach someone on something. So I combined my marketing expertise, which I have been exercising since last 5 years, with my the journey that I started a year ago, into a wonderful brand that I now called Soul. And I help, and one of my favorite clients is obviously W3, because I get to meet amazing women here, and I get to inspire them every day in the most authentic way possible. So I love that. And I'm from India, so if I never thought that I'd work with people all around the world. Initially, I had just graduated from college. I had my degree in marketing, and I always knew that I wanted to do something different, start something of my own. And I was trying, and I was trying and trying to get more and more clients while I was doing my 9-to-5 job. And I was trying to be someone else. I was trying to be like other people having their online businesses and trying to post in a way that would impress people, other people. But it never worked. I never got any clients. While all of this was happening while I was working in the agency and working really hard there, I had this passion that I want to start something of my own. And while I was trying to be like I would never get clients. But there was a point where I posted something that was very authentic to me. I posted my whole story and I posted a picture of mine. I said, this is what I do. These are my services. And I'm just quitting my 9-to-5 job. So if you would like to hire me for anything, please message me. And that was the most authentic post I had written because it was a very true story. I was actually thinking of my job and taking that leap of faith. And that's when one of the comments were of Krista's. And Krista messaged me. She said she loved my post and she wanted to know more about my services. And she literally had no questions for me. Earlier, I was validating myself to everyone else. Like I was trying to prove them that I'm good. But Krista had no questions for me. Krista did not ask me a thing or ask me to prove myself to her. So that was something which was great. I think she knew that she wanted my services. So I sent her a quick presentation and she liked it, and she was my first client. And that's how I decided it's time to leave my job and start on my own. So with one client in hand, I took that leap of faith, and I'm here now having multiple clients. And I teach my clients to attract their soul clients, which was, for me, was Krista. So the whole thing is about how to be authentic and real in the online world to attract your soul clients who do not ask you questions, who are your teachers, as well as your mirrors in some way. Yeah.
That's beautiful, Ashmeeta. Wow, so much that's there. Well, in the first place, yes, I will say a prayer of thanks to Krista as well for bringing you in, inviting you in to collaborate and partner with Wild and Wise. I mean, what a great, amazing choice for her to do. And I can absolutely see why, because you are authentic and you shine. You simply shine who you are. And I love, love, love a couple of things. So I want to bring out, first of all, questioning yourself about, am I too young to be a coach? Because more people, no matter who they are, they're always questioning themselves about something. Do I have what it takes to do what I want to do, to be who I know I can be? And I love that you had the question and then you asked, and then it sounds like you really found it in yourself to say, yes, I am old enough, or I am timeless. I'm in a place where I have value and I want to share my experience. And that's beautiful. Really is. And I love your courage.
Thank you. I really think that, yes, you always tend to doubt yourself because we're spiritual beings having a human experience, and self-doubt, fears, these things, always have these doubts inside of yourself which keep you down, sort of through it or get past it. And the way I help, I always ask divine people around me, whatever it takes for me to get that confidence, I do that work, whether it's inner work or whether it's externally asking for help. If removing my self-doubt requires 100 people telling me that I can coach, I'll go and speak to 100 people and get that confirmation. But at a point you realize that it's all you. Yes, your inner voice matters a lot, and it always knows the truth. So it doesn't matter what 100. You're always guided. You're always and always guided by your voice. Even when we're not spiritual, we're always guided. It's just that we sort of ignore it and we move on. But yes, it's for the people who listen to their inner voice and take an action. That's how those people get happiness, or those people get fulfillment, because they're doing the required work. They're taking the required action towards what they want to be or where they want to be, right? To fulfill their desires, they're taking that action. So yes, in spiritual world, we always talk about inner work, but we forget a major aspect of it, which is taking an inspired action to the internal guidance that you get, and not staying where you are and moving forward from there.
Wow, I love that. So you talk a lot about spirituality. It's part of your coaching, it's part of your marketing, it's part of who you are. Was there anything in particular that maybe happened at some point that was an awakening for you, or something, an epiphany?
Yeah. So I always wanted to be happy. And there was a time where I was very anxious and I always had a pit in my stomach. And I was very surprised. And things weren't going well at that point of time. I was just, I think, leaving college and going back home to my home city. And things weren't really good around. I couldn't meet all of my friends were in different places. At home also, things were all scattered. And so I felt scattered because I just didn't know what to do next. I had no clue. I felt stuck. I felt unhappy. And I had this constant pit in my stomach, which didn't go. And even I thought it's because I need to eat food. And I ate and I still felt empty. So I was pretty surprised as to what is happening and how are my emotions manifesting in physical form? How am I actually feeling empty physically? And so I wanted it to go so bad. I just wanted it to go really so badly. And I knew somewhere that I wanted to be happy. And I was like, I am willing to do anything to be happy. And I want to know what happiness feels like. Because throughout my childhood, I think I've been really quiet and introverted, and just very, very ambitious and passionate about things, but always unfulfilled. And I wanted to feel this thing called fulfillment and happiness and joy that wasn't temporary, that stayed. So I spoke to monks. I went and asked for help on different Facebook groups. That's what I did. I asked my friends for help who were very religious and sort of knew things beyond the physical, sort of metaphysical, right? So I spoke to them and I was like, I need help and I'm going to go and get it because I want to reach the other side. So that's what led to awakening. That's when I met and heard Dr. Wayne Dyer's podcasts. And he really helped me get through it. And that was amazing. So my anxiety healed. It was actually sort of a miracle. I was talking to one of my friends. She was very metaphysical. And I was just talking to her generally and I said, I think I need to eat food. So I'll call you back. So I didn't know why I said that. I kept the phone down. I went and I ate food. And I realized that pit in my stomach never came back. And it was healed. And I was very, very surprised as to how that could happen, but it did somehow. And yeah, I started to do more things that made me happy. I flew from my hometown to another place where I stay currently in Pune, and it is surrounded by nature. It has a very good vibe. And that really gave me the space to explore spirituality. Because I believe that when you're with family, there's always much happening around you that you don't get time for yourself. So Pune, explore more and go more within what spirituality is about. And slowly I started opening up my gifts. I started meeting people who were really good. I attended a workshop called Heal Your Life, which was based on Louise Hay's teaching, and that transformed my life completely. Like I was able to let go of a lot of fears, a lot of guilt and anger, and yes, and then I also sort of did, so I mean, all of these things, lots of mentors came around and they helped me. So as they say, when the student is ready, teacher appears. So I was ready to learn, and so many teachers were around teaching me about this whole new dimension, this whole new world was filled with happiness and fulfillment and joy.
I love that, Ashmeeta. You know, a couple of things I want to bring out because I mean, you have the beautiful appearance of a woman who takes good care of yourself. Um, was that always the case, or did you? Because I know you were such an advocate on behalf of all the women in the community for self-care and self-love. So, can you talk a little bit about that? I mean, is have you always been that way, or was there something that happened there to kind of open your eyes to taking care of yourself and loving yourself?
Totally. In fact, the time I brought this out about self-love was the time when I was exploring it. So most of the times, posts that are on W3 reflect my own life and reflect what I'm learning right now. So the time when I was learning about self-love was actually when I was posting about it, when I was researching and seeing what other people have to say about it. The reason I got into the journey of self-love, which is a major, major journey for me, was when I realized that I was working with a startup in college. So I was going to college, attending lectures, then going to work, and working at the office till 2 or 3 a.m. in the night, and coming back all alone in India, though it was safe and all, but coming back back to my flat where other roommates live. So yeah, I did not give myself time. I was not taking care of my health. My only focus was work. My only focus was making the app work. So I was working on a fitness app, and I was designing the logo, the entire design, the concept, and everything, and pitching it. We were pitching it to the investors at that point of time. We did get the seed funding and everything, but I realized that I had put so much work on, and I had put like all my energy into the work that I wasn't taking care of myself at all. I had become really thin. I wasn't eating on time. I did not enjoy my college life as other people did, being very carefree. And yeah, so that led to me realizing once I left that place, um, and I realized that I was at the bottom, like I had to start all over again. From intern, I had become the co-founder, and then again, I left that because it wasn't working out between us. So it was a great fallout for me, and yeah, and my mom always told me that you look so thin. What is up with you? Why didn't you eat anything there? And I was just too focused and too passionate, just on work. And that's where I realized that work isn't everything. And you're not taking care of yourself. You're putting an effort externally, but what about your own personal growth? What about your own needs? And yes, Louise Hay actually taught me a lot about self-love. So that was a new concept for me. I never knew what self-love is. I don't even know how, like, what is loving yourself means. And when I learned that concept, I realized that I was also attracting the kind of people who did not respect me, who did not care about me. Yeah, losing a lot of friends just because I wasn't loving myself enough. And attracting the kind of work environment where people would put on a lot of work from you and don't give you that much enough money for it, like don't reward you enough. So all of that stemmed from me not loving myself. The moment I realized the core of the problem is when I the core of you not having healthy relationships, you not having a healthy work environment or a good environment, or you not getting, or you not being respected by others. The core of most of our problems is self-love, is not having the love for ourselves. That is the core. And once we start loving, because we are the the children of the divine. We've come from the divine. We're a part of it. So when we don't love ourselves, we're just saying that we don't love the divine. We are, as it said, I am, right? So yeah, we need the way that we are, need to believe in ourselves, because whenever we don't, we don't have enough faith in the energy, the divine energy that made us. So that is how we attract experiences, yeah, that are unhealthy.
Ashmeeta, oh my gosh, that was so beautifully said. And you are such a wise woman. I love what you said about nothing else was working out here because it wasn't working in here. You weren't loving yourself. And especially women who are brought up as caregivers or taking care of everyone else and giving. I mean, we're the divine feminine is is to be receiving, and yet oftentimes we get caught up in that giving and not taking in for ourselves first. So thank you so much. I also want to say something that so on my personal page, I've had for a while a campaign on not too old, that I'm not too old to do this or not too old to do that. And one of the things that I notice sometimes with people in my generation, or not even quite my generation, maybe even a younger, is that they don't see the value, they don't see the youth the way I do. And I am so happy to know you and partner with you and collaborate with you, because you are a stellar example of what I see out there in the world. I see kids at all different ages, and they know so much more than I ever did at my age. And in some ways, people say, well, that can be kind of a curse. And I don't look at it that way. I look at it as such a blessing, because they're able to come in being so wise and having these ideas and knowing things that, and then to give us credit as parents, I think that we've done a better, yes, better, because every generation, we're growing and we're expanding and we're evolving. So everyone always does the best that they can. And I just so recognize that, people, human beings in grade school and to middle and high school and college, and in their 20s and 30s, wow, it's so amazing. And I love that a lot of structure is getting shifted because of you. Like what you said about school. Yes, there is school, and then there's everything else. And I love what you did. Talk a little bit more about what you did to find out, what you were going. And I know you talked about Louise Hay and Dr. Wayne Dyer. Awesome, amazing mentors. They've been mine as well. So, and maybe talk a little bit about who else outside, outside of school, who inspired you? Who are the other people who inspired you?
Yeah, well, college is one of the best experiences of your life, because it gives you that independence first time, when you enter the real world, especially if it's away from your hometown. It makes you experience a whole new world. You are there, you can do whatever you want, you can make your own choices. So I loved that about college. The fact that it did not give a lot of practical knowledge is also great, because then it was our choice, because we had the time, we were given the time to experience, we were given the right resources, we could go ahead and experience whatever we wanted to. And so it was left upon our choice whether to sit around and do nothing or go ahead and get the practical knowledge you need, because it gives you that kind of freedom. So I loved that about college. I had really good teachers. It is an international college, so it was really nice and a great experience. Outside of college, what I learned was, so there was this time I was just reading and learning more about meditation, and I just posted on a group saying that I want to see where meditation classes are around me. And so I found someone nearby where I lived, and that her name is Isha. She really helped me figure out. In fact, she was the one who led the Heal Your Life workshop, and she was the one I did get an angel reading from first time. So she helped me connect with angels. And I never knew like angels existed. I never knew that there's something called angels, other than the fact that they're on TV or movies and all of that. And if I connect the dots from the past, when I wasn't feeling really well about myself, I had this WhatsApp pic which says, "I really need an angel right now." So I was putting it out in the universe, like, I really need an angel. And there was a movie, a Bollywood movie, in which there was like 3-4 people. They come and they pray that we really need an angel to help us and our family. And then, like, the hero of the story comes. So I really connected with that. So unconsciously, I was attracting that side of it, the angels. And so I connected with Isha. She's one of my mentors, and she helped me get on this path. I did not even tell her that, she used to do it for a lot of people. And after I had the workshops with her, my life really transformed. That was the time I decided I want to be a coach. That was the time I was able to heal from a lot of past traumas and pain that I had kept hidden and stored in myself. I was actually able to heal through it. So yes, that's what I believe. And she also taught me that the first step of manifesting your desires or attracting your desires is healing. Unless until you're healed, you won't be putting out the desires from the right place, from the place of excitement or playfulness. So I learned a lot from her, and we formed, and then there is a group of people who are very spiritual here in my city. So I connected with all of them, and we communicate almost every day. So as I said, it's who I attracted when I got out of college, because of what I wanted or what I wanted more of. And I found the right teachers, I found the right people to take me on that more and more on that path.
Fantastic, Ashmeeta. Do you do vision boards, or have any way to co-create your future? What do you think about that? What kind of things do you do to bring your heart's desires to life?
Well, I start with working on myself. Like, what is it stopping me from achieving my desire? Most of the time it's me. Most of the time it's my fears and my doubts. So right now I'm learning to trust myself more, like trust my spiritual gifts as well more, and to really understand and listen to the guidance I'm getting. Because as I said before, we all get guidance, we ignore it. So I'm starting to trust it more and see what is it that I'm being told, or what is it my higher self is telling me to do. And then I take an inspired action on it, whether it's healing or whether it's required inner work or journaling or affirmations. Whatever is required, I then do that, and that's how I go further. I don't do vision boards yet. I love them though, but it's just me shifting my thoughts constantly. And yeah, so the time that I was really fearful, I actually sat down with myself and I said, I really am very fearful about whether I'm going to get more clients or not. So it was a few months back that I was very skeptical about how I should go about this whole way, this whole path that I've taken. It was quite a few months back, and I just sat down with my fear and I deeply felt it. I deeply felt it. I spoke to my mom and I told her, Mom, I don't know what is going to happen. How am I going to sustain myself? And she said, don't worry, we're there. We're always there. So you're going to do it. I just don't want you to worry. I kept the phone down and I cried my heart out. And I said that, yeah. And I said that divine, said, God, if you're there and if you want me to help other people, you have to help me as well. Right. So please show me that you're there, and please show me that you're helping me on this path. And instantly, I got 2 messages of people who said, I want to work with you.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
And that wasn't like an hour or two later, it was very instant. I just opened up my messages and I saw two people asking me to work with them. So that was just to show that I am being taken care of. And that's what I keep reminding myself, that I just need to work on healing myself, work on having more belief and trust in my own self and more love for myself, and that I will be taken care of. So that's my path of sort of reaching my desire, manifesting my desires, is keep on working on yourself, becoming a better version of yourself every day.
Wow, that's beautiful, Ashmeeta. Oh my goodness, you are inspiring. You truly are. And if I may, you remind me a lot of my daughter because she's 23 years old also. And I really, I just love listening to you because like, man, it took me like 40 years to figure out all that stuff, and you got it in more like 40 days. And I'm so thankful for you because you continue to inspire me. You continue to be curious. You continue to ask me. It's like, okay, Bev, where's this? Or okay, Bev, where's that? Or we still need to work on that. And I appreciate that. And I want to recognize you in front of the world and everybody to say that I appreciate your self-care, and I appreciate the care that you also take of your clients, your partners, and the people you collaborate with. So can you tell us a little bit about who is your ideal client, so that when they're listening to this, they'll go, "Oh, that's me. I really, I really want to work with Ashmeeta." Who is your ideal client?
So my ideal clients are people who are entrepreneurs or coaches who want to start their own online business by influencing others. So mostly impact makers, um, either spiritual entrepreneurs or people who just want to make an impact and influence other people with their one-on-one services. Those are my ideal clients.
Excellent. Well, so how does the coaching go into that? I mean, what do you do within that? The coaching piece, is it strictly within the marketing aspect of it, or do you work with people on, I mean, I know you work with them in spiritual marketing because that's like the key, is to be authentic and to be from a place of service and passion and all of that. So do you do more coaching at all with people or groups or one-on-one, or any plans for that?
Yes, I do a lot of one-on-one coaching. So it is not only using, the right skills in terms of marketing, like knowing how to grow your Facebook group or Facebook advertising and all of that. That is the technical aspect of it, and that is extremely easy. What is tough to master is your own getting past your own fears and doubts that are stopping you from being the real you, and demanding or asking for a price or charging something that totally represents your worth. So I do a lot of self-worth work with them, helping them work on believing in themselves more, letting go of all the fear and doubt, because that's how you can build a personal brand, right? Where you are able to speak your truth. And how will you speak your truth unless you don't trust in it, you don't believe in it? Yeah, so that's what I help them in, to own that personal power and to authentically be who they are. My guides also help me position them as in whenever I go on a call, I get like these downloads about how they should be positioning themselves, about how the program should look like, um, and what their soul clients are like. So connecting deeply with your soul clients is something that I help my clients with. And to connect deeply, you need to know their energy, know their challenges, know what they would like to hear from you. And then comes the content part. So that's how you can then position or make your content, when you know whom you're talking to. If you're talking to everyone, you're not going to attract anyone. So you need to specifically speak to people whom you want to attract, right? So that's what I do. And I'm so happy to have a wonderful boss like you. I couldn't have asked for Yes, partner. But yes, that truly shows that I love myself. I'm well on my journey of self-love because I have an amazing um, Miss Bev who guides me all the time, and she's so wonderful and so lovely. I couldn't have asked for better.
Ashmeeta, thank you so much. And you are brilliant. I mean, one thing about having a few years under my belt is that, I've experienced a lot in both the entrepreneur and the corporate world. And I really, it's starting to be more and more where people who are in marketing and who are helping entrepreneurs to, get their services out there to the people that really, really need them, that they're to the people that they serve. There's still a lack of that understanding that you were just talking about. Number one, of who am I? So I'm speaking for myself as your client. Who am I? And who am I here to serve? And understanding that, and really, like you said, understanding who are these women? Who are these women that I'm here to serve? What do they feel like? What do they do? What kind of things are um, like involved in their life? And I really like that because what you said is very true. When you're marketing to everyone, you're not marketing to anyone. So what you do and how you do it is so brilliant. And you really address the heart of the matter, which isn't about getting things out there. Like you said, well, let me say this. When you talked about getting things out there on Facebook and doing all of that, you said it was easy. And yes, for you, it's easy. And that's why I love working with you, because then I get to go, Ashmeeta, what do I do with this? Here you go. And at the same time, it is the easier part of it. So I totally get that. I totally agree with that. And I love that you don't just deliver this beautiful marketing material. You actually look at, who are the women in our community? Who are the women in the sisterhood? The women who have invested part of themselves in being willing to be global citizens and to help elevate fair trade and to help elevate the different women and girls that we work with in the literacy circles and some of the other projects and the artisans and all of that. It's so important, I think, for us to remember that's a great deal of what we're doing. So we're uplifting ourselves and then also uplifting others. And you do such an amazing job of helping us to not just remember that, but also evolve it to a place where we can be very passionate about it and very receptive and invite people in. And I love that. So you are the epitome of a wild and wise woman. And that's the other thing I love about our community. It's not about age. It's about whether you're wild and whether you're wise and whether you're willing to collaborate and come together in a community as opposed to either trying to do it on your own or being competitive, because that doesn't really work. Can you talk just a little bit about that? Because I'm very interested, because I know you had the experience of being in a startup and working from that perspective and working very hard, I must say, because I know what it's like to be in that situation. So how how have you dealt with the competition versus collaboration question? Being in competition versus actually being partners and collaborative.
I just think when you're in competition with someone, you are not trusting yourself enough. And when you're not helping yourself grow, neither are you helping the other person grow, because you're constantly trying to prove yourself to the other person that I'm better than you. And when it comes to collaboration, it's it's the energy of growth. It's where two people come in and combine their wonderful energies, and then they grow and learn from each other. It's the path of growth. And competition is the path where you try to put each other down or to prove yourself more. So again, it stems from not loving yourself, because if you are in a place of jealousy, envy, or competition, you're just not believing that you're worth all that which the other person is. Right? So it's more about trusting that if she can do it, I can too. That's a good way to look at it. Not like, why is she so good and why am I not? So you're sending out the message that you lack something, and then you get more of what you lack, right? But when you're in the collaborative energy, you just ask, how may I serve? And the other person also says, how may I serve you? And so both of them combine and create a wonderful, amazing energy that creates double impact. So yes, in the startup world, I actually had been really competitive because I always wanted to prove guys. I always wanted to prove the opposite gender that I'm better than them. And that just was a very toxic situation for me, um, because I ended up hurting people's egos and not really being friends with a lot of guys, because I just wanted to prove everyone that I'm a girl, I'm passionate, I'm ambitious, I'm better than you. And my whole energy was to prove that I am better than them. So I wasn't helping myself, neither was I helping them, neither were we ever having a healthy relationship. So it was just a lot of ego clash. So competition again has to do a lot with ego, right? It comes from a place of fear and doubt. um, yeah, and the moment that I learned that all I need to do is work on myself and be a better version of me every day, and I started to attract people who were collaborative, who appreciated my work, who believed in me, because I started to believe in myself. So the right opportunities and everything comes in at the right time. The teachers, the opportunities, abundance, and everything comes to you when you're on the path of your purpose, when you're working on yourself, when you're loving yourself. Yeah, so that's the core of it. I think I
Wow.
spoke.
Say that again.
I say I rambled a lot.
No, you did not ramble. What you did was deliver a most important, exquisite message. That was awesome, Ashmeeta. And I am looking forward to, promoting this video so people can get to know you, and also to putting the information out there on how they can get a hold of you. So when we repost the video, that's going to be there. And I trust that I already know that if there are any people who are out there are people out there, never mind if there are people out there who have just been waiting for this message for you. This is like divine timing and a divine appointment for you to show up so beautifully and to really be a leader in terms of the concepts of self-love, and to understanding your purpose and your passion and how to access that, and to utilizing the resources, how to take ego, and instead of it making it something that's competition and competitive, you've taken ego to a place where now you take inspired action. They're inspired actions, and that leads you to collaborations and partnerships, and the most amazing things happen in your life. I have a quick question for you here. I don't know if it's a quick answer, but I'm really curious. So what's your go-to, like the thing that a practice that you'll go to if you find yourself, just you're having, it's one of those days where things seem to be just happening and it's getting a little overwhelming. What do you do for yourself to kind of bring you out of that space of overwhelm or frustration, and recenter yourself? Is there something in particular that you do?
Yes, totally. I do not ignore that feeling. I try to understand, why is it coming? Where is it coming from? Is it coming from inside of me, or am I influenced by the energies around me, by people around me? So I question myself and I ask myself, what is the source of this? What is this coming from? And how am I growing through this? So the question that I ask is, how am I growing from this experience? And I sort of jot down the answer in my head, and I go deeper and deeper to understand. If I'm feeling angry, why am I feeling angry? What is triggering me? So I go to the root cause of the problem, and then I try to journal it out, or just sit in a quiet place and try to shift my thoughts. So during the entire day, one practice, what I do is I constantly shift my thought. I constantly manage my emotions and see that I don't go the other way, take the path of fear and doubt. Instead, I take the path of confidence, belief, and trust. So at any point of time I'm fearful, I spend time with myself. I realign myself in my thoughts and say that I have the power. I can do this. And I'm not very good at meditation. It's not for everyone. If you do not like to sit in one place, it's not the thing to do. There are other wonderful things you can do. But yes, I do sit with myself and I go to the core and try to feel my feelings more so that I can let go of them, so that I can detach from them, rather than just ignoring them. And yes, I also journal sometimes.
Ashmeeta, that's amazing, Ashmeeta. Thank you. I could talk to you forever because I find you fascinating, and you are just so brilliant and so wonderful and such a pleasure. Is there anything you'd like to say in wrapping up this message? Because you'll be back. We'll have more of you because you're awesome, and I know the community would like to hear more. So we'll definitely be doing that. And to wrap up our time together now, anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, I would just like to reinforce the message, which is that whether you think you're spiritual or not, or with whatever situation you're going through right now, whatever challenges you're going through, remember that you always have an inner voice that is guiding you, that is your GPRS. Listen to that inner voice more and take an inspired action to be who you really are, because that inner voice is telling you what to do next. It's telling you who you really are. It's putting you on the path of your purpose. So follow that inner GPS, the inner direction. Listen to it more, don't ignore it, and let go of whatever emotions, feelings no longer serve you. Because there is a path waiting for you which is filled with joy and fulfillment. It's waiting for you right there. All you need to do is take the necessary action. And by inspired action, inspired really means in spirit. So it really means to connect with yourself more deeply, to understand and be more aware of who you are. It's not very complicated. All you need to do is sit down and connect with your own emotions and see where all these emotions are stemming from, and then healing your past. You can ask for help. Don't ever hesitate asking for help. There are so many people who are available to you to help you get to the next level. So yes, in the end, I just want to say, ask for help because it's always available. And yes, the divine will be able to help you only when you're able to help yourself. So go ahead and ask, yeah, and you'll get it.
Beautiful, Ashmeeta. Thank you so much for joining us today. Again, you are authentic, you're beautiful, you're courageous, you are brilliant, you are Ashmeeta, and we love you, and I'm so honored to be your partner as we travel along this wild and wise journey. So thank you so much, and I look forward to talking with you again soon.
Same here. I am more than happy and blessed to have someone like you in my journey. I couldn't have asked for better, as I said before. You're the most amazing, and so like I connect with you at such a deep level. It's like I've always known you. So I love that, and I'm so happy and glad to be with you on this journey and hoping to create a lot of impact with you.
Absolutely. That's what we're going to do. So invite everyone out there who sees this, come join us at Wild and Wise Women and look into our Wild and Wise Sisterhood, because it's a great way to give to yourself while giving to others. And we make it super simple and easy to do that. So until we meet again, know that you're loved, you are guided, you are on purpose, and have fun. And thank you, Ashmeeta.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Talk to you soon. Bye.